You know, I usually will save the question of the video until possibly maybe halfway through the video, but I'm going to start this video off with a question of the video. When you think about the Montreal Canadiens this offseason or going forward next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, let's say 2 years, what is the biggest need for this team going forward? For me, it is a center to get better defensively, to add more size. Definitely, in my opinion, a center for sure. I think that they need a good quality center, build their team down the middle, and then you can go from there, if you understand what I mean. I do believe that teams that are built down the middle are much more prepared for the rigors of the playoffs, more built blue lines. I think they need size. I don't think the Canadiens are ready to compete for a cup yet, obviously. They just made the playoffs last year. But I think if they make the right moves, they're going to be in a really good spot. I mean, they got Suzuki and Demidov. They got a lot of guys. They got Laine who can pot some goals. He struggles in other areas, obviously. But they're useful. Now, sometimes there are trade rumors that come out that just kind of have me scratching my head, and it's not that I wouldn't want the Habs to do this from a Habs fan perspective, but I think you kind of need to take a step back and look at it like, is this the best move for my organization? How many assets would I have to give up? And then go from there, right? Because they do have a number of young prospects that I like, you know what I mean? They have some young guys, some goaltending prospects. I like Owen Beck. I think he's pretty good. I'm not sure how high he'll be able to play. I'm not sure if he'll even be able to play center in the National Hockey League consistently. It's possible. Maybe he could be a good 3C for them. That would be possible. But the trade rumor that we're going to be talking about today is a confirmed trade rumor from Frank Cervalli that he said that Jonathan Marchessault his preferred destination would be the Montreal Canadiens. That's pretty interesting because I do like Jonathan Marchessault. And he is a Quebec guy as well, so it kind of lines up and makes sense. I know a lot of Montreal Canadiens fans are a little bit, I don't know, some of them almost don't like that idea. They think it doesn't work out, but who cares? If a good player is a good player, I mean, who really cares? I mean, this guy is a guy that not this last year, but the year before, scored like 40 goals. He's still useful. However, he is a right winger, right? So is that what they really need? I'm not so sure. Now, let me be clear. Last summer, they actually made an offer for Marchessault. I think that was actually confirmed that they actually looked into getting Marchessault last year. So, obviously they're very interested in him. It does make some sense. It would add some more offensive depth, which is really, really important. Now, let's keep something in mind about Jonathan Marchessault. He, according to Puckpedia, he is in year 2 of 5 of his contract right now, and he's 34 years old. 37, 38, or 2029, about that, is when he'll be off his contract. We have to be understanding that the Habs would be getting him when he is an aging player. That worries me a little bit. You're getting him not even in his late prime, but you're getting him when he's straight up declining. It doesn't, I mean, he took a step back, right? He just did. And I look at it like, do you want to give up assets and your cap space for that right now? And something that isn't what they need, I would probably say no, right? So, for example, the trade rumor was they could give away like 2 second-round picks for him or something like that. I personally would not do that. Now, I understand what people are saying, where if they're advocates of getting Jonathan Marchessault, they might look at it in the way of, hey, listen, we have a plethora of draft picks. Like, it's true. They have like 2 second-round picks, or they have 2 first-round picks this year, 2 second-round picks, and I think they have 3 third-round picks. Like, Montreal is stocked for draft picks. And I think in the next 3 years, they have 2 second-round picks in each of those years. Okay, so no, I just checked. It is 2 second-round picks and 2 second-round picks next year, and then 1 second-round pick 3 years from now. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys right now. It is true to say that they have a plethora of draft picks, but that doesn't mean that you just spend assets on something that you don't need. Like, they have wingers. I understand people don't like Laine that much, but he's still a pretty good goal scorer. They have Caulfield. They have Ivan Demidov. I look at it as like, yes, it would add a way of, you know, adding more depth into your offense, but I would only do it if they're willing to almost just straight up give him away. Like, for example, it would be something that I would consider if they were going to straight up give him away. It is possible that Marchessault might be a player that ages very well. He is a bit of a smaller player, and he might be the type of player that just ages really well. Like, he just kind of doesn't really slow down like other players slow down. But it is risky because you're spending a decent amount of cap chunk of your cap space on it, right? But at the same time, he is being paid $5.5 million, and if you're paying a guy $5.5 million, you need him to produce, right? Like, it's not a negotiation. You need him to put up, I don't know, 50 points at least. And is that something that he is going to do into his late 30s? I'm questionable. There was a really good YouTube video I was watching not that long ago. I can't remember, but it was talking about aging curves. It was about Steven Stamkos, and it was talking about aging curves and essentially when players start to slow down. And, you know, do you really want a player that's slowing down? I would probably say no. I think that they should be expending massive assets right now to get a young centerman that is cost controllable. Again, I'm going to reiterate this. Cost controllable. So either a guy that's locked up on a long-term contract or a guy that is currently a restricted free agent so that you can sign him long-term in your franchise, right? Because if you just start spending assets on things that don't make sense, I just don't like it. But again, guys, I have no problem with disagreements. If you want the Habs to go after Marchessault, what exactly would you be willing to give up from your perspective as well? I would like to know that. I think I'm going to end this video here, though, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you could make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And have a great day, guys. Goodbye.